morning, night, it doesn't matter anymore, guys. It really doesn't matter. Part of the reason why I started doing the morning stuff is I'm like, I could just get to everybody in the morning. I don't have to do a post game show after the post game show, as we like to call it. But you know what? You got to serve your people. And if your people are asking for a post game show, then damn it, you do a post game show. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for being here. Obviously, the little Lakers post game show action on Hoops Talk. So thank you for being here. Game one in the books for the Los Angeles Lakers. We got a lot to talk about. An exciting game for the Los Angeles Lakers. A very nice win against the Los Angeles Lakers, or for the Los Angeles Lakers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. A lot I want to talk about. I want to spend some time talking about Anthony Davis. I want to spend some time talking about the new head coach of the Lakers, JJ Redick, and what he did with some of his lineups. 5 different guys scoring double figures. Rui Hachimura, a nice night. LeBron ended up with, I want to say, 16. Austin Reeves, a little 12-9 action for him. Lakers used 10 different players. Dalton Connects, Max Christie. We'll talk about all of them. Minnesota Timberwolves. That game was kind of odd. To be honest with you, there was a lot of times during that game I thought Lakers were just going to blow them out. It felt like it. But Minnesota just hung around. Still a lot of areas the Lakers can improve on. No question about that. But we'll get into it. All right, just so you guys know, any comments that you guys want to throw in, feel free to throw them in. I'll do my best to get to them. But let me do my kind of full analysis of the game first, and then we'll go from there. Usually in the mornings, I have a cup of coffee, a little tea right here. We're doing a little tea right now. 110-103 the final score. Lakers over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And like I said, let me just add this. Because I wanted to have that on the screen. Let's throw that on there. 110-103 the final score. All right, let me just kind of give you guys my overall thoughts here real quick. I thought, it's interesting. Anytime that you start a new season, everybody's optimistic. Everybody thinks their team is going to be good. But I'm actually not shocked that the Lakers won this game. And I have a few reasons why, of why I think that. And I think a few things kind of played out the way I thought it would. But the last thing you want to do for the Lakers is when you got a new head coach and you're starting off a new season, nationally televised, you're not on Wednesdays or Thursdays games. No, you're by yourself. You had the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics earlier in the day. By the way, I'm going to touch on that Boston Celtics team. That squad, what the hell's going on with that team? Did they break a record? They hit 29 threes, something like that. But when you're on this premier game and this premier night and it's opening night, you have a brand new head coach, you want to kind of try to build some momentum. We all know how important this season is going to be for the Lakers, how the beginning of the season is going to be so important for the Lakers. So right out the gate, just getting a chance to see the team, getting a chance to see a lot of the players, who's going to get some playing time, who's not, what really is going to be his rotation. He only used 9 guys. You could say 10 because Bronny was in the game as well when he checked in for a couple of minutes. I'll get into that in a little bit. But Bronny was not there to contribute to the game. Bronny was basically there so he could sub in with his dad, and they did that. They got it out of the way. I think we could turn the page on that. But right out the gate, I felt like the Lakers. I know the first quarter wasn't all that great. It's not like the Lakers jumped out to a 5-7, 10-point lead. They did in the second quarter. Lakers outscored. By the time you got to halftime, Lakers had a 13-point lead. They had a comfortable lead. It felt like defensively, I want to say the Minnesota Timberwolves had 11 turnovers in that first half. So they kind of dictated everything. They dictated the flow. They had Minnesota a little bit on their heels. I don't expect Minnesota to be good right out the gate. They got a lot that they're going to have to figure out. I don't want to talk about that right now, but I'm curious to see what this Minnesota team is going to be over the course of the season. You caused 11 turnovers. You had AD having the first half that he did. There was a point where Lakers went on. It might have even been more than 17-2 run. It might have been 19-2 run, but they went on a run in that second quarter. This was the lineup. I thought it was interesting who the lineup was. It was Gabe Vincent, Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and Dalton Connect. Connect came in and instantly got 2 buckets to go. hit a three and hit a jumper, and he found himself with 5 points right out the gate. But that lineup in the second quarter was a big part to do with that 17-2 run, 19-2 run. It's kind of funny, and I wrote it down in my notes. I felt like there were a lot of times that either the broadcasters were mentioning indirectly Darvin Ham in some of his lineups, or Laker fans were just reminding me on Twitter, if I put anything out, hey, good first half for the Lakers. It's like, yeah, because Darvin Ham's not there. But everybody was kind of reminding, well, I think a lot of people thought Darvin Ham held the Lakers back a lot last year. And I think initially here, you're starting to see some lineups that are they just make more sense. What do they say? Common sense is not common. The common sense thing to do is to play the team that had 18-6 stretch to end the year last year. That's the starting lineup. JJ Redick's not getting too cute when it comes to that. The guys he's using off the bench for now, because Vando is not there, there's obviously a number of different players that he's going to try to use to try to figure out, all right, what works, what doesn't work. But I like that he's using the youngsters too. And it's not like, Dalton Knecht went out there and got 30 minutes, but he got 16 minutes. Max Christie, only 11 minutes. I think Dalton Knecht looked like he was more comfortable than Max Christie, is what it is. That's not a shot at Max Christie. I think it's JJ Redick trying to figure out which guys can I look at and give more playing time to and take from there. By the way, another reason why Dalton Knecht got some PT as well, he hit 50% of his threes. He went 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. Lakers only hit 5 threes. He had 2 of them. Lakers as a team were 5 of 30 from the 3-point line. You could look at it one of two ways. You could look at it as, wow, that's awful shooting. I hope that gets better. And then you can look at it the other way. Wait a minute. They beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they went 5 of 30 from the 3-point line, but Dalton Knecht got a couple of those. I did like seeing, hey, what are these lineups going to look like? What guys is he going to depend on more? So getting our first chance, our first glimpse at JJ Redick was nice. He looks comfortable in the role, kind of barking at the referees, almost as if he was a player. His interview that he had, all this is going to be new. I was doing my show this morning. For those who don't know, I do a Monday through Friday show now, live here on YouTube from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I had Jovan Buha join the show this morning, and we talk about everything. It's not just Lakers. It's anything that's topical. So, hit on the Dodgers and the World Series. Whatever it is, we're going to hit on stuff that are topical. But this morning I was saying that I'm excited to get this season started because we all have curiosity. We all want to know what it's going to look like. Preseason is never an indication of what it's actually going to look like, and we got our first indication tonight. So 110 to 103. Let me move on real quick to Anthony Davis because I think there's individual players that deserve to, obviously be talked about. AD was a monster tonight. In a game that had Anthony Edwards, it had LeBron James, it had Anthony Davis. This one wasn't even close. This is why Anthony Davis, for maybe some Laker fans, he's frustrating at times because he can do this, it feels like, on any given night. And they had no answer for him. Minnesota had no answer. And that's with a multi-defensive player of the year on the other side in Rudy Gobert. He had 36 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 block shots. That was Anthony Davis. You want him to shoot efficiently, 11 of 23 from the field. You want him to get to the free throw line, 13 of 15 from the free throw line. Just an absolute monster from Anthony Davis. Look, this is his time. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. And there's not a Laker fan that's on here that doesn't know what I'm talking about. There's not a Laker fan on here that doesn't kind of share in the exact same thoughts that I have. I don't have to explain to you Anthony Davis. I don't have to sit here and have a conversation with you of how important he is and how key he is. And as LeBron is about to turn 40 years old by January 1st, how critical he's going to be to this Lakers organization. You guys already know that. So I don't feel like I need to get into it. But nights like tonight, the hope is going to be that Anthony Davis is the driver of this team, is carrying this team, that the more we talk about the Lakers moving forward, it's less about LeBron and it's less about what's on his shoulders. And it's more about yeah, this team and this franchise runs through Anthony Davis. And eventually there's going to come a time where you turn the page on LeBron James because he's in his 22nd year in the league. But there's going to come a time where you turn the page on LeBron and you're going to look at Anthony Davis, and what you're going to hope for, the conversation is going to be, guys, we got to make sure we're pairing the right guy for AD. AD was phenomenal tonight. No answer for him at all. I love how aggressive he was. It was something that JJ Redick said in one of the pressers. Was it, what did they do his presser? I think they did it at the end of the third quarter. I think start of the fourth quarter or halftime, but I think it was start of the fourth quarter. That's the one thing JJ Redick said. He just basically said, I like that he was aggressive. We want him to be aggressive. He's open on, if we're asking him to shoot some threes, he's shooting some. He only took 3, and frankly, I don't think I need to see AD take any more than that. But when you get to the free throw, how many times have we done this? And it's one of the most frustrating things that I've watching Anthony Davis. And you guys know I've covered the team for a long time. Obviously in that locker room, the whole thing. But one of my most frustrating things with Anthony Davis has always been, you look at games and I'm like, where's AD? Did AD play in the fourth quarter? What do you mean Anthony Davis only took 1 free throw this game? What do you think? Why would Anthony Davis only have 1 shot attempt in the fourth quarter? Those will come because I think that's come with his career, and I know it sometimes happens, and sometimes you want to give other teams and their defense credit, but I think there's other times it's just AD. I mean, look, you got to be a killer too. If you want to be considered one of the best big men in the NBA, which I know we all say that, and he is, but Embiid's not going a fourth quarter without taking a shot. Jokic isn't going a fourth quarter without taking a shot. Giannis isn't going a game with only taking 1 or 2 free throws. I think there are times where that's what separates the MVPs from 10th or 11th in the NBA. See what I'm saying? That there's the top 3-4 teams in the league, or the top 3-4 big men. I mean, you guys know this because we're all Laker fans on here. Back in the days when it was, you pick whoever you want. You want to pick Shaq? I know, one of the most dominating players in the league. You want to go look at guys like Tim Duncan? I know, absolute Hall of Famer and a 5-time champ. Hakeem Olajuwon. You go down the list of all these great bigs. One thing that they all had in common, you don't forget about them in a game. You don't forget about him in the fourth quarter. And what a great sign for Anthony Davis tonight. It's the best way that I can put it. What a great sign for AD. And he was phenomenal tonight. And that's how it's got to be. If this Lakers team wants to make noise, one of the things I was doing this morning with Jovan, and him and I both agreed, I think it's I think the best, probably top 5 in the West, which I know doesn't sound like that impressive. That is impressive for the Lakers just based on how they've finished in the regular season. But I think there's no reason why they're not top 6 and they're out of that play-in. But a lot of that's going to be on the shoulders of Anthony Davis. And, of course, you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to need to contribute after that. Rui Hachimura, I thought, had a really good night tonight. I'm going to stick on Rui a lot. Like, I think as I do these post-game shows, I think you guys are going to see me spend a lot of time on Rui Hachimura because he's got potential, he's getting paid, and they need him to be good. 18 points for Rui. Solid night for Rui Hachimura tonight. The fact that he was the second leading scorer for the Lakers, the fact that he shot 50% from the free throw line, that he got to the free throw, or 50% from the field and got to the free throw line 4 times at 3 of his 4 free throws. I like that stat line. The only thing I'd like to see a little bit more from him, no, he got the 5 rebounds. I'm okay with that. A couple steals and a block shot. I was looking at the wrong stat here, but he's got to be around 5 rebounds. He's just too big of a frame. He's got to crash the glass, so that was nice to see. If I'm just going to go on individual players, I'm going to start looking at some of the comments because I know I haven't got a chance to look at the comments yet. By the way, appreciate you guys hanging out. Please do me a favor. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. It's all I'm asking from our people here. If you can subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. Okay, so real quick, LeBron. Let's talk LeBron and Bronny real quick. Let's talk LeBron and Bronny. I wrote this down. Guys, I got a lot of notes here. Okay, what do you want me to do? I'm in the middle of a game here. Actually, I got to be honest with you guys, really excited to get the season started. NBA is my favorite sport. You guys know it. I could talk NBA in my sleep. Just absolutely love it. I love the NBA, period. Obviously I'm a Laker fan, but I'll watch any game. You want to throw on some Wizards and the Pistons? Okay, I'm probably not going to do Wizards and the Pistons. But if you ask me to do it, I might do it. I might watch Wizards and Pistons. That's an awful game, by the way. But I was really excited to get the season started tonight, and I really hope this. I really do. I really hope the Lakers get off to a good start and they give fans that are here or wherever they are. I know there's obviously Laker fans everywhere. Give everyone something to be excited about and start kind of building towards. I want what I'd really like to see is the Lakers get off to such a good start that there's also pressure on Rob Pelinka to, you know what, guys, we're too good to pass up on trying to improve the roster by the time you get to the trade deadline. The first 30 games are going to be critical for him to make whatever decision that he's going to make. So it was nice to get the season started. Okay, real quick, Bronny and LeBron. Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., we knew they were going to be at the game. Shams Charania put out something that they're expecting Bronny to play in this game. Listen, if you guys have listened to me, I don't think it's a shocker or a surprise that I'm not exactly I'm not probably the one that's going to be running with this story and talking about, what an unbelievable all this. Cool moment. They checked in. Bronny checked in with LeBron with about 4 minutes left in the first half. Bronny then checked out with about 1:29 left in the first half. It happened. They interviewed Bronny and LeBron on TNT after the game. And I think we're done with it. So I think if you're a Laker fan and if you were concerned, like I am, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. And I said it when I was on the radio at 710. Now that I'm doing all my own content as well. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's not for me, but I understand it. I understand the allure behind it. I understand the attention behind it. What I'm hoping for, and I think this is going to happen. I really do think that this is going to happen. I think there's a good chance we're done with it now. And I'd rather Bronny and LeBron play together in the first game when you're up 15 points for a couple of minutes in the first half, and then it's done. Because if there was a scenario that played out, and again, it didn't happen, so it's a good thing it didn't happen. But could you imagine if Bronny and LeBron are playing critical minutes, or the time that Bronny's in there, Minnesota goes on an 8-0 run and Lakers end up losing the game by 1 or 2 or something like that? It's a completely different conversation. I think we got it out of the way. I think we can all kind of move on now. And for those that wanted to see it, cool. For LeBron to want to make it happen for his family, cool. Him and Bronny had a commercial, a Nike commercial. I saw it, on X a little bit earlier. Badass commercial. They're making money. Bronny's about to get paid $8 million for a 4-year deal, everything else. The Lakers are in entertainment. They're Showtime. They're all of that. But the reason why this franchise is successful is because they've had success and they win. And that's where I want the attention to end up going to. So, cool moment. Awesome. All over Twitter. All that other great stuff. I think it's done. And, my hope is that that's no longer going to be a conversation and that those are ready now to watch Lakers basketball and hopefully watch successful Lakers basketball. I think they might have that in front of them. So that's some good news on there. Last couple of things I'm going to say, and I'm going to get some of your guys' comments, questions, whatever the case is. Reeves, 12 points, 9 rebounds, I mentioned. D'Lo did not have a good game, was 1 of 7 from the three-point line, awful, 4 of 12 from the field, awful. But I'm going to give him some credit in something. He had 5 assists. He had 9 points. He had a critical stretch. Lakers were only up 4 on Minnesota. And 3 straight possessions, D'Lo, bucket, lob to LeBron, lob to Jackson Hayes, Lakers up 10. So they went from up 4 to up 10, and D'Angelo Russell, who did not have a good game, was a key piece in that stretch there to go from 4 to 10. Give the man credit for that. He did not have a good game. I'm not, obviously, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. I thought Jackson Hayes gave them some really nice energy off the bench, played 15 minutes, had 10 points, had 4 rebounds. No other individuals I really want to talk about. I think that's most of the guys that were contributing. I mentioned Dalton Connect, his 16 minutes. 5 points, 2 assists. I'm excited about Dalton Connect. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I hope I'm not overhyping him, but I think we got a real player in Dalton Connect. Everybody feels like they got a real player in Dalton Connect. Even Charles Barkley was saying, basically, he was questioning every GM out there that's a general manager in the NBA, saying, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. Have you seen Dalton Connect? So that was cool to see as well. All right. Let me just play this for a quick second. AD's talking on Spectrum. I'm going to play a minute of it or so and just see what he's got to say on the win. Take a quick listen.
Able to balance that throughout tonight?
Yeah, the game plan, the schemes that he have on both ends of the floor. You know, he trusts us. We trust him as far as you know, what he teaches us, what he wants us to do on the floor on both ends, and it's our job to go execute it. I think we were very prepared tonight. Like I said, we executed the game plan to a T. I'm not going to tell you the game plan because I know Minnesota will probably be watching this and figure out how to try to beat us next time. But our game plan was elite, and we executed it, and able to get the win.
All right, that's Anthony Davis right there. All right, I just want to get kind of the beginning of that. Good timing. I got to be honest with you. My timing right there, by the way, that was Spectrum SportsNet. My timing to just happen to go to Access SportsNet and see it was Anthony Davis. And the fact that it was the first question, I mean, honestly, the fact that all of you guys who are watching this right now are not standing up, I deserve a standing up. I deserve a standing ovation. Every one of you should get up and just start clapping while you're watching this post-game show. And if your wife or your girlfriend or husband or anybody asks, hey, why the hell are you staring at your laptop clapping? Just say, Sliwa did something special. It was a big moment for him. He came through for everybody in the post-game show. That's why I'm standing up clapping. All right, that should probably do it right there. That should probably do it right there. These lights are bright as hell, by the way. Thought it was too dark in here and it's bright. I'm like freaking glistening off this camera. All right, here we go. Like, that's what I'm talking about. There comes the standing O's. Here they come. By the way, I have not looked at the comments yet, but I know this just kind of went down. Fernando Valenzuela. I just saw it. I actually heard them on the broadcast talk about it. As David's putting here, rest in peace to one of the more, how do I put this, impactful players in baseball history, passes away at age 63. So I know there's definitely some comments on there. So rest in peace, RIP. David, thank you for putting that up there. I saw that too. So, okay. I'm going to do my best here to try to get to some of these comments. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a ton of them. I looked, it said 260 comments or 250 comments, whatever it was. What do we got here? Okay, Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown, what is this? The former pitcher? Is Kevin Brown part of the postgame show? You guys remember Kevin Brown? Last time I enjoyed a Laker game that much, Westbrook was a wizard. Jesus. How's Westbrook getting a shot thrown at him? Nothing even happened here. I'm with you on this. It was an enjoyable game. And, listen, Lakers are going to have rough patches. That's going to happen. Minnesota, I'm sure, is far from what they'll probably end up being by the time you get to the end of the season. But I don't really care. As long as you kind of stack up some W's, as long as, you're worried more about yourself, that's the only thing that matters. Check the schedule. Good chance Lakers start 10-0. That ain't going to happen. I appreciate the Supers, by the way, but that's impossible. Not impossible, but you know what I mean. Look at the schedule. This is what they got. They're home against Phoenix on Friday, home against the Sacramento Kings on Saturday. I'm going to try to get to Saturday's game. I still got to look at my schedule. At Phoenix, at Cleveland, at Toronto, at Detroit, at Memphis, then Philly and Toronto at home. That's going to be your first 10 games. You go 6-4, solid 10-game stretch there. I'll tell you that. 6-4 would be great. Somebody else standing up. I was standing. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, I actually got a standing go. Got to actually. I woke up the kids and had them. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody doing that. All right, let's see what we got here. Lot of RIPs to Fernando. So I'll point that out again. Okay, here's what we got. When D'Lo and AR were in, the offense was humming. Just my opinion. Well, I think what you got with both of those guys is you got unselfish players. Austin Reeves is not hunting for a shot. Austin Reeves will take the right shot. D'Angelo Russell, for the most part, I think is a very unselfish player, but he struggled tonight. Couldn't hit a shot if his life depended on it. Not a good game from D'Lo. I agree. But I'm going to say, and I'll say this again, I do feel like that stretch that I was talking about, that moment that I was talking about, you're only up by 4. It's a critical portion of the game. It's the closest Minnesota has been. Remember, Lakers had a 19-point lead at one point. And like I said, for him to do what he did, have that, hits a bucket in the lane, and then throws 2 lobs, the lob to Jackson Hayes, just kind of, crypto went crazy for it. So I'm going to give him credit on that front. All right, see what else we got. LeBron did what any father would do, help his kid. If Bronny pans out, good for him. If not, he's shared the floor with his dad. Look, LeBron doing what he's doing, I don't question what LeBron's doing. My question from the beginning, it's more on the Laker organization. What's the goal here? Is the goal to accommodate LeBron, or is the goal to win? Is the goal to get some good storylines that ESPN's going to run with and everybody's going to run with on X, or is it to win? So I'm not questioning what LeBron would do. I'm looking at a franchise that before LeBron got there and well after LeBron is gone, it's all about winning. Is it also entertainment? It is also about Showtime? Absolutely, all that. But the foundation of that franchise is built off of winning. So LeBron's going to do what he does, but it's a question of, is the organization going to accommodate what LeBron wants? And the answer is yes. They clearly have been accommodating LeBron. I'm going to say it again. Bronny came in with about just under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. He was out with 1:29 left, and he didn't come back in the game. So hopefully, whatever the goal was it to play with his dad, and LeBron wanted to play with Bronny, all that stuff. Hopefully that stuff's all done. Now we can focus on basketball. Lakers really kind of got both of what they needed. All right, let's see what else we got here. Guys, relax. Are we already going at D'Lo? Will you relax here for a second? It's like the first day of school. All right, let's see what else we got here. Game changed in the second quarter, and we held the lead throughout, even when it got close. I think 3 points was the closest we still had the lead. Yeah, I never really had a feeling that there was – I'm talking about Minnesota for a quick second. I think this is actually a good conversation about Minnesota. I never got the feeling that the Lakers – that this game was in jeopardy. You know what I mean? What did actually Minnesota – they had a 2-point lead early on. Lakers had a 19-point lead. So the game never felt like it was in jeopardy. The question I have for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I got a good buddy of mine that I used to work with for years down in San Diego, and then he left and moved on, and his name's Alan Horton, and he does the radio play-by-play for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I haven't got a chance to connect with him, but I'd love to connect with him. I'm curious to get his thoughts on that trade. Minnesota, it's going to take time for them to gel. Dante DiVincenzo is a nice player in the NBA. He's going to help them. Julius Randle, he's a nice player in the NBA. He's going to help them. But what Karl Anthony Towns gave that Minnesota Timberwolves team, and what he specifically gave Anthony Edwards, not everything was on his shoulders. I thought Anthony Edwards was forcing a lot of stuff. I think he was trying to play some hero ball. I think he was looking around and saying, I'm not getting enough help. I'm just going to go ahead and keep shooting the ball. He was 10 of 25 from the field. He was 5 of 13 from the three-point line. Anthony Edwards did not have a good game. Minnesota looked completely out of whack. They'll get better. They're going to need time, and I think over time they will figure it out. But I'm weary on that trade. It's good for the Lakers if Minnesota obviously takes a step back this year. But you got to the Western Conference Finals last year, and you traded one of the faces of your franchise. That one surprised me a little bit. And I think some people think, I feel like the more people that I've talked to about the trade, more people feel like Minnesota, that they like the trade for both teams. But I don't know if I'm Minnesota. I would rather just kind of keep building off of what you had before. If I'm trying to trade somebody, I would rather target Rudy Gobert as a trade than Karl Anthony Towns. So they looked sloppy tonight. They didn't look good. They looked like a team that was trying to figure out their personnel. And Anthony Edwards looked like a player that didn't have a running mate to say, okay, hey, you go to work, or the ball is constantly moving, and it's no guarantee that Anthony Edwards is going to shoot. Mike Conley's a threat. All these guys, they'll get better, but that Minnesota team didn't look – none of what I saw tonight looked impressive from Minnesota. They will get better. They will be a good team. I'm sure when they face the Lakers again, I don't know when they face them again on the schedule, but, I'm sure it's in the next month or whatever the case is. Didn't look all that impressive to me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, or if there's if you guys feel different. All right, let's see what we got here. A lot of Bronny conversation on here. Don't really feel like I need to do that right now. I think I already addressed that. Brian said he missed the second half. You're good, Brian. We got you. AD dominated. That's all you need to know. You see how Hayes rolling to the basket. Yeah, it reminds me of the JaVale McGee days. It reminds me, there's players in the NBA that just literally make a living off doing what Jackson Hayes done. They're an athlete first. They're a 7-foot athlete. They're not an NBA player. Like Jackson Hayes, no, he is an NBA player. Jackson Hayes is an athlete. He's not a basketball player. A basketball player is somebody that can look at the basket and hit a jump shot. He can hit a 15-footer, that can use the glass, that knows how to pivot, that knows how to that's a basketball player. It makes me kind of think a little bit old school in the NBA. Today, you have players like Jackson Hayes that can get paid, but they're not necessarily basketball players. They're athletes. And that's kind of, a little bit of what's happened to the NBA is you don't have to be a basketball player anymore. You could just be an athlete and have a role. 82-0. Go to Vegas on that one. Let everybody in Vegas know you're going. You're picking the 82-0. Just decent hands and insane bounce, low IQ. Gotta be honest with you, that's a pretty good description right there. Insane bounce. The dude jumps out of the gym, but at the end of the day, if you ask that guy, hey, can you hit a 12-footer off the glass? I don't know how hard that ball is going to hit the backboard. I don't think that can happen, but that is what it is. All right, let's get a couple more here. By the way, it has been last time we did a post-game show, right? What was it? May 1st, I think, is when they got eliminated by Denver. And for the love of God, if anybody else tells me that it was a close series against Denver, I'm going to hallucinate. I feel like I've heard that for 2 years now. Can we stop with that, please? It's been a while since we've done this, and it's always nice to do it on a win. If you're out hanging out, we got over 300 people live right now. I greatly appreciate you guys being on. Let's do a little roll call. Where are you tuned in from? Maybe you're at King Taco. I was walking by last Friday. Walked right by King Taco in Pasadena. All I thought about was you guys. All I thought about. Remember the old school King Taco? Remember that? Remember that back in the days? So if you guys want to let me know where you're tuning in from, go ahead and throw it out there, and I'll try to give a shout out. Towns got traded because he's a slacker. I don't know why he got traded. I really don't. But I think that team, I don't know what that team is going to be as the season progresses. I don't. Good start to the season with plenty of fixable things that should take care of itself as long as they play with the effort they showed for the majority of the game. 1-0 feels great. Can I tell you this real quick too? They shot 5 of 30 from the three-point line. If you shoot 10 of 30 from the three-point line, it's still not a great average. and you got 15 more points. So I know the idea. Is going to be, because of JJ Redick, is to take threes. But you're going to have to hit your threes. All right. Let's see what else we got here. You don't have to hit them all. You just can't hit 15% of them. All right, somebody's predicting wins. LeBron is a year older. He'll miss some games. Okay, I'm going to throw something else out here that I got a little bit excited about. To be honest with you, there were some times where LeBron was on the bench, and I saw Anthony Davis out there. I saw Dalton Connect out there. I saw Rui out there. I saw Reeves out there. I saw Gabe Vincent out there. I saw some youth mixed in with some veterans. It feels good to see that. I want to see that more. It's not a shot at LeBron, but he is about to turn 40. And I want all these other guys to start getting accustomed to getting playing time. And I think a lot of Laker fans feel the same way about this. I think there's a lot of Laker fans out there that want to see more of that. Hey, let me see what it looks like. If Bron doesn't want to play in a second of a back-to-back, cool. I want to see what it looks like. If LeBron misses a game because he's going to be 40 years old and he needs 22nd year in the NBA, all good. AD, you lead the squad. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but there are a lot of times that I see that, and that's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. I have a curiosity of what that looks like. And frankly, I feel if the Lakers are going to make a run, you're going to have stretches and times where LeBron's not playing 35 minutes. What did LeBron play today? Check out his minutes real quick. LeBron played 35 minutes. With all that said, he played 35 minutes. We get some 28s mixed in there. I don't know how the hell the guy's still doing it. AD, 37 minutes. Rui got 35. D'Lo got 35. Your starters all got 35-plus minutes. Between 34 and 37 minutes, all your starters got. And then everybody else kind of got sprinkled in. Damn, it feels good to get the NBA back, guys. It feels really good to get the NBA back. All right, let's see what we got here. People want to already start. Is Higher Grounds a new coffee? No, man. Is it a new sponsor? No. You know what? This was a really, really cool place. Where was Higher Grounds? It was in Idlewild. Idlewild is one of my favorite places to go visit. About 2 hours, really from anywhere in Southern California. And used to be a coffee shop called Higher Grounds. They don't have it anymore. I always thought they should sell weed and coffee. Higher Grounds, you know what I mean? Like I thought I was a genius there, but they're not around anymore. But I love the shirt and I love their coffee back in the day. Let's see what else we got here. All right, as far as some of the shout outs go, I'm gonna crank through these here real quick. Lawndale in the house, thank you very much for tuning in. NZ, somebody's at the hat. I think they're at the hat. Estonia, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Mount Vernon, Washington, Trinidad and Tobago, still waiting for an invite. DC in the house. Echo Park in the house. Roger's excited about his Dodgers. Laguna Niguel, that's a pretty good place to live. Temple City, thank you for tuning in. Glendora, Ventura. This feels good. Got to be honest with you guys. Feels good to be doing this again, post-game show. You guys know, obviously I'm no longer with 710 ESPN, so figuring out just kind of what my schedule is going to be. But it feels great having this type of interaction, doing the YouTube stuff where it all started for me, and knowing that I got a lot of love on here. So thank you for being a part of the show. Stockton, thank you very much for tuning in. University of Newcastle, Australia in the house. Someone's at Darvin Ham's home. Darvin Ham was getting mentioned. I don't know what you guys – every time I put something out, I felt like somebody had an angle for Darvin Ham. If I'd have said, today's such a beautiful day outside, somebody would have said, well, at least Darvin Ham's not coaching the Lakers. It's like, how is this guy getting strays in that regard? Cal State Fullerton, Philly, San Jose, Rosetta, Maryland in the house. New York City, Yanks in 5. He's coming right at these Dodger fans. Little Italy Pizza Hut. Sure. Stockton in the house. Pizza Hut was a great partner of mine for a long time at 710. Got a lot of love for them. Monrovia, Mount Vernon, Washington, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Little Italy, Las Vegas. Somebody's at the San Diego Sports Arena. Do me a favor, grab a hammer and take that thing down. I don't know how that thing is still up. Bankers Hill in the house. Great area to live. Philly in the house. All right, Riverside. The Riverside is in the house. El Monte, New Mexico, Washington, San Jose. Appreciate you all being a part of the show. Anaheim in the house. Thank you all for being a part of the show. I can't keep up with all this. The Bronx. Guam, thank you. Philippines, thank you. Johannesburg, South Africa, thank you. Glendale, thank you. Ohio, thank you. All right, let's keep going. Sunnyvale, San Diego, thank you for being a part of the show as well. Virgin Islands, Jesus, so many great places around here. Love how Rui looked tonight. All right, I'm going to say this again. I said it a little bit earlier. Stockton in the house as well. I said this a little bit earlier. I'll go back to it. Rui's a very important piece of this Lakers team. And I'm already frustrated with Rui because there's going to be times where I'm going to say, Rui, you're too good to have 6 points and 3 rebounds. So Rui tonight making it happen for the Lakers was great. 110-103 the final score. Rui had 7 of 14 from the field, had 18 points. Okay, I want to jump here real quick, and I'll come back to this, but I'm going to jump. There was a game a little bit earlier. Obviously, 2 games tonight. Boston Celtics, New York Knicks was the first game. Boston gets their ring. They put up banner number 18. And then Lakers and Timberwolves played after. I don't know if you guys got to see any of the games, Celtics, Knicks. I really didn't get to see much of it, but just kind of was reading about it while the Laker game was going on. My God. Let me tell you something that Laker fans are not going to want to hear, but it's how I feel, so I got to tell you. And I'm going to get back to some Laker stuff. If you guys got some more Laker stuff, go ahead. Feel free to, throw it on there, and I'll get to it when I'm done with this. Let me tell you at least this much about the Boston Celtics. When you're a team that has 2 really, really talented players, you can make an argument that, I don't know where people put Jaylen Brown, but I actually think he's underrated. I don't think people talk about Jaylen Brown enough. I think Tatum gets all the attention. I think Jaylen Brown's an absolute baller and is not talked about enough. Put that to the side for a quick second. I'm going to see one thing of how old Jaylen Brown is, because I know Tatum's, I think, 26. Tatum is 26, and Jaylen Brown is 27. Do you guys understand that those 2 players, the best 2 players on the Boston Celtics, do you know how much experience those 2 players have had at 27 and 26, how much postseason experience? They've been in the playoffs basically every single year. I don't know the exact stat, but I'm assuming here they've been in the playoffs every single year. They've been to conference finals, and they got to the NBA finals and lost to the Golden State Warriors. They have so much damn experience, and they're only 26, 27. What's scary to me about the Boston Celtics this upcoming year is the pressure of winning a championship is gone. They won one. They're still so damn young. That front office has obviously made some good moves. Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. Like they've been able to put the right team, the right supporting cast around them. They're freaking really good, and they're only 27 and 26. They're really, really good, and they got more experience than most players that have been in the NBA for 10, 12, 15 years in the playoffs and in the NBA Finals. Do you know the Boston Celtics hit 29 3-pointers today? What the F? And New York, I know that's kind of the popular team right now. That's a team that went out there and made moves, and they got OG Anunoby, and they got Mikal Bridges, who I don't understand it. Did the guy forget how to shoot a 3-point shot? Why am I watching all this footage of Mikal Bridges not knowing how to shoot a 3, and that his form is all jacked up? I'm like, what are you talking about? You've been in the league long enough. Now your form is jacked up. Anyways, long story short, Knicks are supposed to be real deal in the Eastern Conference this year with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns. Now they're supposed to be real deal. Boston that's next level. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's next level. And like I said, they already got the toughest part done. That championship that they needed and all the pressure was on, it's gone. They already got one of those. So now they could play more comfortable. They could play more loose. And they're freaking really, really, really good. But that's insane to me that they hit 29 3-pointers in an NBA basketball game. Do you know how many threes they took? 61 threes. They took over twice as many threes than the Knicks. Knicks took 30 threes. They took 61 threes. What the F is going on in Boston? That is not good news, by the way. That is not good news. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep, 29-61. I don't see anybody beating the Celtics. Guys, I want to tell you something, and I love the honesty in this. This is a Lakers post-game show, and I got Laker fans saying, yeah, that Celtics team's a problem. They're a problem, and that's okay. You know, you can be honest about it. That's a freaking problem. All right, let's see what else we got here. Everybody on the Celtics can knock threes. This is an interesting analysis. Alvin, I think, has a really, really good point here. I don't need to tell you guys, but I think you should read Alvin's analysis. It's a very interesting analysis there. Something off with Bridges. I saw somebody else say that, you know, he's changed his shot or whatever the case is. Aren't you supposed to change your shot when you're 9? Don't change your shot when you're 28, 29 years old. I don't know how old he is. Celtics look unstoppable. Did you guys read Alvin's analysis? For those who didn't get a chance to read Alvin's analysis, I'd like everybody to just take a quick second and acknowledge Alvin's analysis on the Celtics. All right, I think we already saw it. Bridges found his zone late in the game. He is good. I didn't watch much of the game, so if you tell me that he's good, then I think he's good. Let me see. I'll tell you right now what Bridges did. Bridges, 2 of 7 from the three-point line. Not that good. Not that good. 7 of 13 from the field. That's not bad. 7 of 13, shot over 50%. All right. Already talked about Rui. Was impressed with him. Was happy with what he did. I just need him to do it more consistently. I think this is also another theme for me. I think a lot of Laker fans are very excited to not have Darvin Ham there. I don't know if JJ is going to be good, but you guys can tell me it feels like a lot of Laker fans. There's a breath of fresh air when it comes to not having Darvin Ham there. And like I said, his rotations and everything else. We'll see. Listen, it's easy when you win a game. Everybody says, hey, this new guy, JJ Redick, but you guys know how this works. I've seen it all, whether it was Luke Walton or Frank Vogel or go back before that, Byron Scott or, obviously Darvin Ham and now JJ Redick. Everybody likes you when you're winning. You lose a couple of games. Everybody's saying, what the hell is the coach doing? So get ready for the roller coaster because that just comes with the territory. So I don't think that's too big of a shock when it comes to that. Alvin, excellent point. All right, that's enough, Alvin. How much love am I going to give one individual here? Yes. To answer your question, yes. Slee, did you also get the video on available air? I saw it actually on. So here's a problem. I'm watching the game, on my TV. I'm streaming it. I'm casting it off of my phone, watching it. I don't know, TBS and Samsung, they don't, or TNT and Samsung, they don't connect. Anyways, long story short. So I'm like a minute behind everybody. So I had to turn off the game on, or I had to turn off X because everybody was in front of me. And every time I opened up ESPN to look at a stat, they're 1 minute ahead of me and the score is 4 points difference. I'm like, God, I got to turn this off. The only reason why I'd give Sliwa a standing O is because he was able to successfully end the correct screen share rather than end the full live stream. I was doing a pregame, or I was doing a preseason. A quick story for everybody here, real quick. Doing a preseason game. Listen, it's preseason. Not everyone's on their game for preseason. And clearly I wasn't on my game. I played a clip of Access SportsNet was playing JJ Redick, so I played the clip. I was like, hey, how cool is this? I'm playing a clip. They get to hear JJ Redick, and then I come back to the postgame. And then instead of ending the share screen that I had of Access Sportsnet, I just ended my stream, and in the middle of my postgame show, maybe 15, 20 minutes in, I was gone. So then I had to come back on and put part 2. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? So have you tried Crown Royal? David, by the way, I appreciate the super. Have you tried Crown Royal salted caramel? I have not. Am I missing out? I'll tell you what I have here. I haven't even opened it. I've had it for a while, but this is, you know what? You just want to grab a beer? I'll grab a beer. Okay. Get it. A little salty crew. A little Coronado Brewing. Yeah, grab a beer. Get a W? Get a beer. What are you going to do? Have a beer? We'll get a beer. All right? Cheers to you guys. Do me a favor, guys. Go grab yourself something to drink. Don't worry about work tomorrow. Don't worry about all that. 8 a.m., come back, tune in with me. I'm going to do coffee in the morning. I'll grab a quick Coronado Brewing here. A little blonde ale action here. Now, when we really have something to cheer about, what is it? What am I coming in alcoholic right here in front of everybody? We really have something going on. We'll bring out, the bourbon. I don't know if you guys are. Woodford's my go-to. Let me tell you why Woodford's my go-to real quick. It's my go-to because, first off, it's phenomenal, and second, it's affordable. They're not trying to all kind of get you the way they're trying to get you. All right, let's see some of these chats here. Everybody just hanging out on this opening night. I really started the morning show thinking like, okay, this is going to work good. Then they don't need me at night. I could get in the morning. Look at this. I got good people here. What am I supposed to do? All right, let's see what we got here. Fire Rob Pelinka chat. Respect after me chat. Say fire Rob Pelinka. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. We're going to talk. This is a very important year for Rob Pelinka. Very important year. I'll tell you guys why it's such a key year for him. Rob Pelinka. Bro, you can't just keep hiring coaches and failing. You can't. Like, it is one of the worst things that you can possibly do in any management position is you keep getting rid of managers. And that's kind of what a coach is in the NBA. It's a manager. At some point, the problem is not the manager. The problem is who's hiring the manager. I think it's a very, very important year for Rob Pelinka. Let's just put it that way. JJ did great. Quickly abandoned that 3-2 zone with AD up top. Yeah, that was a different look. That doesn't happen too often in the NBA. 3-2, by the way. 3-2. Man, that made me think like I was back at freaking high school, Kennedy Recreation Center. Let's see what else we got here. Take a shot. We won. I'm not good with hard liquor. I mean, as I sit here with my Woodford, but yeah, I can't do that anymore. All right, guys, got anything else here? Want to get in? If not, we're going to call it a night. 53 minutes. That's solid right now. That's a lot of time here hanging out. I think we're good here. Just Slee shotgun beers before the 8 a.m. show. I don't know. Tune in at 8 tomorrow, and then we'll find out. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Almost an hour on here. Really, really nice to do the post-game show again. I know it's been a while. Post-game after the post-game. There is no – I don't do 2 post-games anymore. Now I get to just come on and react right after the game ends. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm back on tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll be talking, definitely be talking Lakers, kind of break down a little bit more of the interviews. I get a chance to kind of listen to what those interviews are. Obviously, a great win for the Lakers to start off the season. Exactly what you were looking for. Go get that first W. Go get that first win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. See if they can build a little bit momentum. The first 10 games are tough. First 5 games are really tough. All these teams are going to be in the playoffs that the Lakers are going to play. Really good game, I think, coming up on Friday. That's a tough one. I think Phoenix will be tougher just because those players have been playing together. I don't think Phoenix – I think Lakers will be better than Phoenix, but you can lose the game on Friday. Budenholzer, I think, a much better – it sounds like people think he's a much better fit for the Phoenix Suns. But I'll be back on tomorrow morning starting at 8 a.m., and we'll talk more Lakers. We'll talk Fernando Valenzuela. We'll talk Dodgers and the Yankees. And any other sports that's going on, we'll get into it, kind of sticking more to the SoCal sports. So we'll do that tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Go grab yourself a nice one. Get yourself a nice you earned it. All you Laker fans out there, you earned this beer tonight. Go enjoy a beer. Go enjoy some type of a cocktail. And we'll get back with you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Laker fans. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And see you tomorrow morning.